Greetings, gamers! This is Dr. Ayleen, the Gaming Doc, and this is your place and your space to hang out, to chat, to chill, and to say hello to JJ the Bunny! Oh my gosh, well, good morning, well, good afternoon to our friend JJ the Bunny. Okay, hold on for just a second. I just had to check something over here. Alrighty, and it is so good to have you, JJ, and let's do a shout out. I'm getting so good at this. Oh my gosh, yes, there we have it. JJ the Bunny. JJ, hold on, because I forgot to write it down. Leporide, or actually, short is lepus, which is the Latin word. So our loving lepus, our hugs bunny, our tech bunny, our punny bunny, our funny bunny, and who is always full of the puns. Sorry I wasn't around yesterday. I had a company lunch thing. You know what? No worries at all. You missed me having my first round of Bean Boozle Beans. And for those of you who may not know, is we're going to have some fun for June, and of course June is known for being warm, or here it starts the warmth. So we are going to, I'm doing like a thing, and so whenever, if I get like bits of at least 100, for every 100 bits, I have one Fiery 5 challenge Bean Boozle Bean. For every follow, I eat 2, and for every sub, I eat 3. So yeah, we're doing this, and yesterday was the first time I tried it, and shall we say, I mean, I'm not shy when it comes to spice, but shall we say, these folks kind of upped the ante a little bit, so it was interesting. Oh, right, those. Yeah, but it was, that include, yes, it does include gift subs. And so, you know, YOLO. So I hope everyone's having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night. I hope everyone is doing well. And yeah, I'm starting off with these. Next month, I will do the gross Bean Boozle Beans. So, you know, I'm kind of easing my way. This is actually my first time dealing with Bean Boozle Beans, because I thought, it's like, well, you know, it can't be that hot. Yeah, they kind of kicked it up, and taking 2 at a time because somebody did a follow, so I took 2 at a time, and it was like, okay. So yeah, it is, you know, my discomfort. See what I do for you guys. So I hope everyone's doing good, and we had some pretty, so doing a 10 gift sub would be bad then. Well, it would probably be entertaining. But yeah, oh, JJ, see, that's JJ's alter ego, the Jackalope, which, you know, if you don't know, I've decided that JJ the Bunny has an evil alter ego named Jackalope. And see, that's coming from Jackalope. Oh no, JJ's getting ideas. Well, that's okay. I can't be that mean, but it did cross my mind. See, I know that, you know, and somebody might before the end of the month, and if they do, I will do this, and also understand that I am actually taking a carb hit for this, but hey, you know, I'm doing it for you. So, but yeah, yesterday we had, I mean, it was like quite a discussion, and Osteria! Yay! Osteria in the house! How are you, my friend? How are you doing? And I hope you're doing well. And JJ just brought up the idea of like, oh, well, gift subs. If somebody gave you 10 gift subs, would you eat 10? It's like, see, he's mischievous. Osteria, know that JJ's being very mischievous today. You need to keep an eye on him. Evening. Well, good evening, Osteria. So glad to have you here. And today's tea is Rooibos. It's the what is it? South African? It is the South African tea that I really, really like. It's a lot of fun. So, we went through like a lot of very, very important stuff, had some great discussions, and and Osteria was in on it, and it was just it was really cool that people, it is so important to me that people feel safe when they come here, that they feel safe to share, that they feel safe to really be themselves, and that whoever they are is going to be appreciated, whoever they are is accepted as somebody who's doing the best they can with whatever they've got to work with. And and that really means a lot to me. And it's Wednesday. It is We Got This Wednesday, because there's a lot of times when we don't think we've got this, and there are times when it's hard to believe that there could be any good outcome to anything that's going on, that it could be just that it's kind of hard to pull up that optimism. And I'm a firm believer that we should not pull up optimism that's not there. If things suck, yeah, that needs to be acknowledged. You don't sugarcoat it. You take life the way it is. It's just realizing that there's more to what it is than that moment. So, and what I mean by that is, any moment can be a lousy moment. Any moment can be a hard moment. Any moment can be a terrifying moment. And we can understand that that moment is going to move through. At some point, everything changes. At some point, everything shifts. Shameless merchandise plug. Life is fun until it isn't, and it sucks until it doesn't. Yep. Go to the page, the channel page, merch there. But, and I firmly believe this, because, it's just going to be, because there are times when life is tremendously fun, and it's only going to be fun for that amount of time. And then something's going to happen, and it'll flow back into sucking. And then it's going to suck. And then it's only going to do that for a time. So being able to say, well, it's lousy right now, or in this moment, I'm doing pretty good. In this moment, I'm okay. There's an old joke about an optimist fell off a 100-story building and was plummeting down. And around the 50th floor, someone leaned out the window and screamed, "How you doing?" And the optimist said, "Okay so far." So the idea that, yeah, we can look at a situation, realize, okay, this is not good. This is not what I would prefer. And to understand that everything changes. Now, in that joke, it's like, yeah, it's probably not going to end well. But, it's sort of a thing about being in the moment. Now, I am a firm believer that being in the moment does not necessarily mean you have to be in this moment. Because sometimes this moment isn't any fun. Sometimes this moment is hard. So, when people say be in the moment, my feeling is you can choose what moment you'd like to be in. If this moment is very unpleasant, choose another one to be in. You can choose a moment in the past where, you were feeling really good, or feeling really strong, or feeling really brave, or feeling really encouraged. And so you can be in that moment. And it's like, you know what? This is hard, this is rough, and I've overcome worse. And if I can do that, I can do this. And you think about, another time when you were feeling really strong, or that you got something accomplished that was important to you. Then, yes, be in that moment. Or you can decide to take a jaunt into the future and say, you know what, it's not always like this. It's not always going to be like this. One day, one day it's going to be different. One day I'm going to be, on top of my game. One day I'm not going to be scared. One day all of this will be past. Reminds me of that phrase, it's not the fall that kills you, it's a sudden stop at the end. Oh, yes. Gravity can be a harsh mistress. And Lady Auric! Yay! Oh, folks, welcome. And is my chat bot going to do what it's supposed to do? I hope. Maybe. If not, JJ, could you do a shout out for Lady Auric, please? Folks, Lady Auric, my nameless family, my sister from another mister, a lovely, lovely, lovely person who I have never heard anybody remind people to smile as much as this lady. And she is just amazing and wonderful. And I mean, you can't help but have a grin on your face when you watch her stream. I mean, even when she rages, she's adorable. And, she will get up, she will do a dance, she lets you know in no uncertain terms that she is very happy that you're there and very happy that, that you're with her and that you're participating. She does not hesitate to let people know how much they mean to her, which is something that is so needed in this world, because sometimes people don't know how much they're appreciated. And Lady Auric is one of these that will definitely let you know how cool that she thinks you are. And she will also remind you to think yourself is cool too. So awesome. So happy to have you here. Oh my gosh. Infamous J. Oh, yes. My personal Obi-Wan Kenobi when it comes to Don't Starve. I'm telling you, you guys have got to see this guy play. I mean, it is so cool, and he is so sweet, and he's so nice, and and he helped me out a lot learning about some stuff about Don't Starve. I mean, I thought it's like, oh, okay, I kind of got this, but when I see Infamous Joe play, it's like, ooh, let me write that down. New drops are dude, oh my god. Oh, see, I'm telling you, he is like Jedi level Don't Starve. And he is, folks, you need to follow this guy. See, not only does he like have a running tutorial, it is like, he always drops the awesome information. I will definitely be looking for that. And and thanks for following Lady Auric. That's really sweet of you. I mean, it really is about supporting each other and just letting people know. I mean, I know that there's a lot of streams that go on, and I know there's a lot of amazing people who do them, and I like to point out the folks who really are just awesome. They're out there because it's not just about the game. It's not just about, them sitting and playing and having people watch them. It's about engagement. These folks engage, and it is so cool, and it is so neat to see. And, and I really think that people need to get into those streams where, you come in and you can just feel welcome. And, that's the thing. That's the, I think that's one of the biggest bonuses of Twitch, is that you get to know people that you would have never gotten to know, and really to be able to call them your friend. And I grew up in the generation where it was like, oh, the internets, you can't develop long relationships, or you can't develop true friendships on the internets. But oh my gosh, this has just been amazing. And being able to have that available to you is something so cool. So, engage, go out, click on to these folks, because, you will definitely be very, very happy that you did. And, and that is a part of We Got This Wednesday, because the integral part of that is we, because together we've got this. And sometimes people feel like they have to be alone in dealing with things, that they need to hide what it is they're going through, that they can't let anybody know the troubles they're having or what they're being burdened by, for whatever reason, because they don't feel it's safe, because they don't feel it's easy. And why all of a sudden are my frame rates dropping? Okay, how about if I close my internets? My internets. Okay, if I shut everything else down. Oh, wow. Okay, so I closed my other window and the frame drop stopped. So if we can stay here, we're good. Yeah, it always makes me so nervous when my frame rates start to drop, because I still don't entirely understand how it works. So when it goes wrong, it's like, ah! It's like me playing a first-person shooter. At some point, I'm just going to panic and start firing randomly into the trees. But, or I just run around. Ah! But anyway, someone unfurled the interwebs. Yes, the World Wide Weberverse is doing something strange, and I don't understand it. Those poor trees. I know, and I'm a druid. We're supposed to, be kind to trees. But yeah, it's like, ah! So anyway, but for those who feel like they can't share what it is they're going through, the first question is why is it that you feel like you've got to play those cards so close to the vest? Why is it that you don't feel comfortable with the idea of someone knowing that you're struggling? And I was the reigning queen of that. I heard everybody's problems and told mine to no one, because I felt, well, actually, I felt that, oh, and there's Luna. Hey, Luna. I felt that people needed me to be a particular way. What? Oh, and then you come over here. Oh, fat kitty. Oh, Luna. Say hi. Hello. I felt like I couldn't be myself. JJ says hi. I felt like I couldn't be myself because they needed me. And that was quick. See, look at that. JJ says hi, and Luna goes, okay, I'm done. That was a goal achieved. JJ acknowledged me. But, people feel like, they have to be someone in particular. And that was how I felt. Now, granted, in all fairness, you're nobody until you've been ignored by a cat. Ooh, Almohadita 999. Hello, so happy to have you here. Very nice to meet you. And welcome. And I hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you're at. And we're talking about how we got this, and the fact that sometimes people feel like they need to hide who they are so that other people will view them in a particular way. And and it's hard always being on, because I actually had somebody tell me, I was talking to someone, and they asked me how I was doing, and I wasn't doing too good. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to open up. I'm going to just say how I'm doing. And I said, well, I'm not doing so good. I'm not, I'm having an issue. I am your friend. Oh my God! Costa Rica! Pura vida! Yes! Oh my goodness! Oh, hi! Oh, I love, me encanta Costa Rica. Oh, I am so going back. Oh my gosh. It's so nice to see you too. Oh man, it is. Okay, off topic. I had a wonderful opportunity some years back, and it just seems like forever, to go to Costa Rica. And It was one of the most amazing places I have ever been. And the food was amazing and the people were amazing. And it was, oh, I am definitely going back, because it's like, I mean, when I left Costa Rica, there was a part of me, it's like, that's it. I'm moving here. I want to move here. I want to live here. And, it was just so, so wonderful. And so, we went to a waterfall garden and the waterfalls were amazing. And we went to the beaches. The beaches are just unbelievable. And like I said, the food is absolutely amazing. I was just I must have gained a good 10 pounds just in the time that I was there. But it is so nice to have you here. And it is, I spent most of my time, well, actually we traveled around quite a bit. And so we were able to see, quite a bit of different areas. I went with folks who, a dear friend of mine who is like a mom to me. It was her family that we were going to visit. So it was just wonderful. I almost, we were stayed at this one place and there was a volcano that was like up above it. It's called Arenal. And they had these pools that were like, they would kind of go up each level. And each higher level, the water got warmer and warmer and warmer. And at the top, there was this like waterfall type of thing where you could stand under it and the water was so hot. But it was all heated by the volcano. So anyway, anybody out there, if you get a chance to go to Costa Rica, take it. But plan on spending a lot of time. It is, I am not being paid by the Costa Rican Tourist Board. I'm just telling you, it's amazing. Anyway, but as we were talking, so I was talking to this lady and I decided to share, what it was that I was going through. Arenal is really beautiful. It is so beautiful. And so she stopped me at one point and said, wait a minute, stop. And I stopped speaking and she said, I can't hear that you have problems because I need you to be the one that I go to with my problems. Yeah, it is. I had a wonderful time. And the family members I met and the friends, they were just absolutely beautiful and just awesome people. Made me feel so welcome. And in the little bit of Spanish that I could speak, and it was funny because I would say something and people would look at me and grin, and then a friend would say, it's like, okay, that means something totally different here. It's like, well, what does it mean? You don't need to know that. Just it means something different. Don't use that phrase that way. But I did okay. So anyway, this lady is telling me that even though she asked how I was, that she didn't want to hear that because her image of me needed to be someone who was always strong. And I ended up sticking with that. It's like, okay, well, then that's just who I have to be. I don't get to turn it off with folks. So I shut down what I was feeling for a very long time, for years. And then I realized life is way too short for me to cause myself pain because that's what I was doing. And it is, it's important when we realize when we're doing something that isn't good for us. So I started reaching out. I started letting people know when I wasn't okay. And last year I had a moment where I was really, really trying to give the impression I was okay. And someone came up to me and looked me dead in the eyes and said, "You're not okay." And I burst into tears because it was like that somebody noticed, vulnerable, and at the same time it was a relief because I didn't have to pretend anymore. And that's why it's important to remember that together we've got this. None of us have to do things alone. We can choose to, but we don't have to. There's folks who will support. There's folks who will help. I've got these awesome, amazing people who have helped me through this Twitch journey. And I honestly would not be able to do the stuff I do without them. I mean, JJ, who is an awesome moderator and who's also very, very helpful in helping me to be able to, navigate stuff, and even some of the things, just about being a streamer. It's like, well, okay, you might want to consider this, you might want to consider that. And it's just been so helpful. And, there's a young guy in Texas named Papa Merritt who he helps me out with a lot of stuff, and he just he's just so there. I try. You do more than try, JJ. You do. No, none of your bunny humility now. But being able to, my frame rates are doing weird things again. Stop! That's right, he succeeds. Oh, okay, now we're at over 1,000 frames dropped. I don't know because see, I can't tell what's happening on the screen. So if it is getting laggy and it's doing something, it's being bizarre. So let's fingers crossed. Stop! So please let me know in the chat if it's starting to, get really weird. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it was fine, and then all of a sudden it just started going crazy. We can hear you still, so that's all that counts. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. And being able to give ourselves permission to be human, to give ourselves permission to be vulnerable, to give ourselves permission to say, you know what, in this moment, I don't know what to do. I don't know. Or to give ourselves permission to say, I'm scared, or I'm not okay. Because it's surprising how seldom, people give themselves permission to do that because they worry about what other people will think. Well, if you're around the right people, all that they're going to think is, wow, I have an opportunity to be there for this person who's been there for me. And when I decided and made a conscious choice and struggled and started opening up and letting people know, hey, I'm not okay, I was amazed at the level of support I got. I was amazed at people saying, it's like, well, doggone it, you need to take care of yourself. You need to do this. What can we do to help you? How can we support you? How can we help you out? Whatever you need, we've got you. We've got you. And that is, that can mean the world to someone at a moment when they feel very alone. And, and it wasn't that, it's not about pity. It's not, oh, poor you. Oh, you're so beaten up. Oh, you're so this. It's like, no, it's, you know what? You've got this. You just need someone to help you out. You need someone to kind of, give you that moment so you can catch your breath. You need someone to create your eye of the storm. There was a story about a young eagle who was, trying to take their first flight. And the mother eagle, and it's actually known that an eagle, in order to get that baby eagle, the eaglet, to take that flight, they will actually destroy parts of the nest to force the eagle to fly. And there is that thing where it's like, as a parent, where it's like, no, I want them safe. But, it said in the story that the mother eagle knew that if the eaglet never flew and did not take that risk, that it would never learn what it truly meant to be an eagle. So the young eagle kind of plummets out, and it's trying to get its balance, but it can't, and it starts getting afraid. And then all of a sudden it felt underneath it, it felt the mother eagle, and it dug its claws in. But in that moment that it was supported, it got its balance and it found its wings. And, all that was seen after the eagle flew away were the feathers of the mother eagle floating down. And yeah, sometimes we do need to have someone who kind of comes under us so we can calm down, catch our breath, and find our wings. And being able to help somebody do that is probably one of the best things that we could do in this world to make the world a better place, is to help others find their wings. And it doesn't matter how old someone is. I mean, you could be, a young kid just figuring out what your place in the world is, or what you think of the world around you. Or it could be one of us old timers and thinking, okay, I've only got so much time left. How can I make the most of it? What can I do to make the most of this time I've got? So when you can help somebody to, create a dream and go after it, when you can encourage somebody, it's like, oh, well, I couldn't do that. Why not? It's not about whether or not you can do it. Figure out a way. Make it happen. You can do this, and you've got help. I mean, it was literally a year, and I've mentioned this before. It was literally a year before when, someone first started talking, a Twitch streamer first started talking to me about streaming, before I actually thought, maybe I can do this. Maybe it'll be okay. And I was very nervous. I was really nervous about that, the idea of doing that, because it was like, okay, this is way more technology than I am used to dealing with. I was doing YouTube videos, which meant I controlled it. There's a lot to be said for being able to totally control an outcome, because, you film it, you can edit it, you can tweak it, you can do whatever you want, you can re-record it. But here, it's like, okay, we're live. It's in the moment. We're doing this. This is a thing. And it's one of the most fun things that I've ever done in my life. And my only thought is, why did I hesitate for so long? Why did I hold back? I guess maybe because I thought I'd have to figure it out all on my own. And the person who talked me into this, who's Narrow-Minded Gaming, absolutely awesome. He just kept reminding me, he said, you're not going to be alone. There's a lot of really nice people. Folks will help you. I'll help you. My friends will help you. And trusting in that meant that I was willing to take that risk, that I was willing to jump out of that nest, from that place of safety into, whatever. And I'm so happy that I did. I wish I had done it sooner. But then again, if I had done it sooner, then I might not have gained as much through the process of really working through what I had to work through in order to click, to go live. And I think that everybody has that moment where, whether it's streaming, whether it's whatever, that thing that you do for the first time that you're really worried that, you'll look foolish, or that you will somehow make a mistake, or that you'll be judged, or that you just won't know what you're doing. We all have those moments, and sometimes multiple times in a week. But the thing is that if we were always secure, if we were always safe, I think that'd be kind of boring. It would mean that you were never trying anything new. It would mean that you were never trying to, expand your life experience. And, there's a saying that life is a small dash between two dates on a headstone. Yep, I know, old type of thing, but yeah, and it's true. So if our whole lives are that dash, what are we going to do with it? How can we make the most of it? What can we do to make the most of the time we have? Well, the first thing we can do is figure out what would make us happy. What is it that we think would be very cool to do and very cool to experience, or very cool to do for someone else? And then we figure out what we need in order to make that happen. And more than likely, one of the things we need is other people. It's folks who have already done it before who can help. Folks who, are there to be our cheerleaders, who are there to remind us, hey, this isn't bigger than you are. This isn't overwhelming. Other people have done it, so you can do it too. It's okay. Take one step at a time. You know, yeah, we need people to remind us to take one step at a time. And that if it doesn't happen in a hot minute, then, well, I gave it a week or I gave it a month and it didn't happen. No, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Pace yourself. And being able to have friends and people around you who can believe in you even when you don't is a tremendously special thing. It's sometimes I just tell people, I wish you could see yourself through my eyes. But until you can, I'm going to keep telling you what I see. And, when I look in the camera and say, I believe in you, I'm proud of you, you can do this, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. And it doesn't matter that we've never met. Because I believe that every person has that within them. And if other people can achieve things, so can you. If other people can look at a challenge and see an opportunity, so can you. If other people can push past the learning curve, then so can you. Sheila! Oh my gosh! Sheila Marcel is in the house. And I mean, when you talk about someone who, works to push past stuff and to spread good, good vibes and strength and encouragement, and is willing to put that out there. My dear, dear, dear Sheila, who, she streams games. We got to get back into that, Stardew Valley. My schedule's been kind of crazy, but I definitely want to get back into Stardew Valley with Sheila. And she also has a YouTube page that is, just really her speaking from her heart. And she's got a lot of challenges that she is turning into opportunities. And I'm so tremendously proud of you for that, Sheila. You're awesome. And, also for anybody who is in the chat, I know normally it's like, there's a thing about self-promoting. I have no problem with you doing that. If you have a stream, please, you can tell us about it. You can let us know, when you're streaming, what you're streaming. And, if you click on that person's name, it will take you to, link you to their page so you can follow them. But, it is really, I think it's great for people to share things that they feel good about, to share things that they, are proud of. And we have Papa Merritt in the house. Oh my gosh. Papa Merritt, who is one of my wonderful moderators, who is very, very helpful for helping an old lady figure out the World Wide Webiverse and how to do things on it. I'm hungry. Oh, so I'm guessing it's, okay, 9, 10, 11. Well, it's just coming up on lunch. Lady Orc, about time you come in, Papa. Oh, and it's What's Up, Doc. Oh, gosh. Look, I thought JJ was the only bunny on this stream. We've got Bugs Bunny references coming in here, although he has an absolutely adorable Yosemite Sam pillow. So it is so good to see you, Papa, and I know that you're a very busy guy, so it's always good to see you come in. And it's really, Papa is a part of that team that helps me to not feel alone in this, and Lady Oric and Infamous Jo and JJ and even Sheila. I mean, we just recently got to know each other, which I'm tremendously happy about. And yet I have, this absolute, that if something were weighing on me, were weighing on my heart, I could contact Sheila and say, hey, I've got something that's kind of weighing on me, can you got time to talk? And I know that she would be there for me. And it is so nice to be able to have that. And, and it just boggles my mind that is possible with people that I've never even met in person. So the idea, you can always talk to me as well, Doctor. I know, my sweet, I know. And and it's like, and the beautiful thing is we've got folks who are, I mean, a broad range of ages and life experiences. So there is something that every single person has to contribute, that they have an experience, that they have a perspective. Yesterday, Osteria was talking about, he was talking about some things where he is, and that that it was, it's like, well, this is just my perspective. It's like, but that's exactly what I want. Everybody has a perspective, and every unique perspective has its own wisdom. So, it is really, such a wonderful thing that you can go on one stream and connect with people in chat who are from, all different ages, cultures, races, belief systems, all of that stuff. And we have a chance to learn from one another, because, it is hard sometimes. Yep. It is the fact that, the being able to work as a team. We've got this. And part of that is the ability to learn from one another. The ability to go, wow, I never thought of this particular thing in that particular way. And that's like really, really neat to be able to say, you know what, I learned something new today. And anytime someone has a chance to learn something they didn't know when they woke up that morning, my feeling is you jump on that sucker. You take every opportunity. Oops, excuse me, burps. To it's the tea. To learn and to grow, and people have an opportunity to learn and grow from you, from your life experiences. And often people will downplay what it is that they, it's like, well, I don't know anything. I don't. I have a friend who used to always say, it's like, well, I ain't nobody. And I used to hate it when she said it. And then finally I reached the point where I said, stop it. Stop saying that. Well, I mean, I'm just kidding. I said, not all of you is kidding. Don't. Everybody is somebody. Everybody is somebody special. And everybody deserves to be heard. I mean, whether I agree with someone's point of view or not, I have, I want to hear what they have to say, because who knows, maybe it'll give me something to think about, or maybe it'll reaffirm. I mean, I've listened to people talk and it's like, okay, so now I know I was totally right in not agreeing with you. But it also confirms it. It gives us something. And I've had a lot of years to listen to a lot of people say a lot of things. I grew up through some very tumultuous times in this nation, and watching how, the grown-ups would act, and wondered to myself, that's not nice. Why is everybody being so mean to each other? But growing up and watching that period in history, the 60s and the 70s, and being able to say, yeah, I can see how I don't want to be. Yeah, I think learning from others needs that motivation and reason why you want to learn. Yeah, but many problems could be fixed in the world just by respecting others' views. All think differently, and some thoughts or ways are not so smart or bad towards others' views, or even them. It might end up problem. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you got your lunch, Papa. What did you have for lunch? But, I mean, ding, 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 absolutely right. I mean, it's like some people would say, it's like, well, the world would be a better place if we all agreed. No, I don't think that, and I don't think that's necessary. I think the world would be a better place if we all agreed to disagree, that we don't have to all agree on the same thing or have the same point of view to acknowledge that someone else could have a different point of view, and if that's theirs, it doesn't have to be mine. And like I said, it always gives me something to think about. So, when people get the idea, it's like, oh, well, in order for us all to get along, we have to believe the same things. No, we don't. I have friends who are across every political spectrum, almost every religious spectrum, and the reason that we get along is because we understand that none of us have the desire to change anybody. And we understand that there's more that binds us than separates us. And that it's okay for different people to feel different things. I mean, the thing is, when you argue with someone and try to change how they view something, more than likely they're just going to dig in their heels, and then it becomes an ego thing. Then it becomes, well, I'll be danged if I'm going to, have any respect for that point of view. So the idea that, as Osteria said, that idea of respecting other viewpoints. I was having a conversation with someone, and I mean, there was a part of my brain that was going, no, you are so wrong, you are so wrong, you are so wrong. And I just like, okay, I mentally send that part of my brain to go play a video game. I've got like a video game set up in my brain, and it's like, okay, go play a video game right now. Because it wasn't up to me to say that they were wrong. I listened to what they had to say, and then we moved on. And I said, it's like, wow, okay, well, I don't really agree with that, but, hey, you have every right to your opinion. And then we talked about something that we both wanted to talk about. So I feel no need to change anyone. I have no attachment to it. If somebody is really determined to believe something, I'm not going to change that. What I can do is I can show them how I walk in the world, and then they can observe that and go, oh, wow, okay. Well, maybe there is something more. When somebody has their mind slammed shut, like a rusty old trap, then, you're not really going to get very far with it. And if they're determined to hold that, that's not up to me. It doesn't affect how I sleep at night. It doesn't affect my ability to enjoy that little dash of life that I have unless I let it. So, being able to work with people, to find a community, to find folks who are supportive and who, and like I said, you don't have to all agree, or maybe you just all agree on one thing. Even if there's one thing you all agree on, it's like, you know what? You could have totally differing views, but you love the same sports team. And that's what you focus on. It's like, yeah, we want our team to win. Yeah. But, whatever it is, there is always more that binds us than separates us. And a part of what can bind us is the idea that we can help one another achieve what it is we want to achieve. And when you have wonderful folks who are there, who want to encourage, who are, just really focused on saying, you know what, we got something good here. This is a thing. This is a good thing. And that both people can go away feeling like, wow, I feel motivated. I feel cool. I feel cared for. I feel understood. I feel heard. That's a wonderful gift to give to people. It's a wonderful way to help somebody maybe step up into a bigger world. I mean, I know that I'm a, ethnic little old lady. And I know that I've had times in my life where people have reacted to the color of my skin and decided to make choices based on that. And some of those were were pretty unpleasant. And I wasn't going to change them or their impression by meeting that energy. Well, if you're going to judge me, I'm going to judge you. I decided that nobody was going to make me be anyone other than myself. I would not give anyone the power to turn me into somebody I don't want to be. So as long as I stayed true to me, then people would look at me and go, wow, okay, she's a small, round, brown woman, and she's kind of funny, or she's kind of silly, or, she seems to care. So, when people are given an opportunity to not have to defend what they feel or what they believe, I find that folks are more likely to open up to what they see. If they see something that's different from an opinion that they held, and they go, wow, that's kind of gentle, and that's actually kind of cool, it becomes an invitation. It's not a demand. It's an invitation to change. It's not telling someone that they have to because, they don't meet my standards. I mean, I have a hard enough time meeting my own standards. Thank you very much. As all of us do. We have to work to be the person that we want to be. And, there used to be an old poster, may I be the person my dog thinks I am. Because a dog will look at you and just like, oh my gosh, you're wonderful. You hung the moon up in the sky, and you're so great, and you're so kind, and you're such a good owner. And yeah, you want to be that kind of person, that good, kind, protective person that somebody else feels totally safe with. And sometimes, we've got little stories and stuff going on in our heads that keep us from doing that. So it's good to have people who remind us, hey, you're doing all right. In fact, you're doing pretty darn good. And I'm really proud of you. And just hang in there. You've got this. And we're here to help. So, when we say we've got this, it's with a capital W, because we do have this. Because whatever it is you're facing, you don't have to face it alone. And even if somebody else can't do anything to change the situation, they can stand with you. They can be there beside you. They can be there to encourage and be your cheerleader. They can remind you that you're stronger than you think and more resilient than you know. And, you've got some pretty good smarts. That you are smart enough and wise enough to figure stuff out. I mean, sometimes all it takes is one person showing faith in us to go, okay, maybe I can do this. And if we can crack that door open just a little bit, even if it's just maybe I can do this, that's a good place to start. And, when other people are saying you can do this, that maybe becomes more confident. That maybe I can do this becomes, yeah, I can do this. I can do this. I just have to figure out how. And once we can get it to the point where it's, I just have to figure out how, that's where the magic happens. That's where things kick off. And, you can just say, all right, this is a thing. We're doing it. We're in with both feet. And a part of that how is, who can I go to who can help me figure this out? Because it is about just having somebody help you figure it out. It's not about having somebody do it for you. It's about being able to figure it out and having somebody there to, kind of just help out a little bit. Or just to remind you that you can. So make sure that on We Got This Wednesday, think about who your we is. And it's funny because, okay, I wrote a book, and the book was about an experience that I had on a beach where I was writing I had picked up a blank book, and I was sitting there with it, and I was like journaling, and I was going through a lot of stuff. And I wrote down a question, and then I wrote down an answer. And I thought about it, and then I wrote down another question, and then I wrote down another answer. And it was weird because I didn't feel they were my answers. And so after doing this for a few minutes, and I wrote down, how do I know that this isn't all just in my mind? And there was a pause, and then I wrote, well, if you look over your right shoulder, about 8 feet behind you is a seagull that has only one leg. And so I put my pencil down and I turned around, and sure enough, there was about 8 feet behind my right shoulder was a seagull with one leg that there was no way I could have seen. And so I go, okay. And through that process, and through the rest of that weekend, it was like this dialogue that went back and forth. And part of it was that I asked who it was. And the answer that I wrote down was just, we are. It's like, well, yeah, but who are you? And I wrote, to name something is to give it limits. We are. And so I just started calling them the we. So when I talk about we got this, it's on multiple levels. So the link to the book is in my description. I'm very, very proud of it. And for the longest time, I didn't want to publish it because, one, I thought I was going to be thought insane. And so I slacked off my goals for weeks now. Now I have to start all over. You know what? You're not starting all over, because you have the wisdom and the knowledge that you gained from how far you've got. You're not starting over, sweetie. You're starting again. And that's okay. When you're running a marathon, there are times when you gotta walk, or maybe that you gotta stop and catch your breath. But you're not starting over. You're restarting. And you're starting from this point moving forward, because everything you learned and all the foundation you laid is still there. You don't have to learn all that stuff again. So, awesome. But anyway, I was going to publish the book, and I didn't want to, and so I was driving along the street, and I've told this story before, so if you've heard it, but I was driving along the street, and I just started thinking about it, and I said, okay, if you're out there, if you really exist, and if I'm really meant to put this out there, I want a sign. I want it right now, and I want it something that I can't ignore. And I've learned you don't do that when you're driving, because a bus that was in front of me, a car pulled out and there was a bus. Well, the bus slams on its brakes, and I stop short of hitting the bus. And across the back of the bus, in letters 2 feet tall, because at that time there was a community college and they were doing notes to graduates, way to go, Bob, or good job, Al. And in letters 2 feet high across the back of the bus, it said, we're proud of you, Ayleen. So I published Aaron the Healer. Yes, 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 yes. Aaron the Healer. Oh my gosh, folks. You want to talk somebody who is so sweet, who is so lovely, who is such a kind and wonderful streamer, and who is an all-around just, lovely light in this world. You want to go and hang out with Aaron the Healer because, by name and by nature. And there is something about how Aaron will just kind of talk and share and talk about, some stuff that, are some real major burdens and major struggles, but to still be there and to still offer that safe place, letting people know they're not alone in struggling, with health stuff and with things like that, and with stuff that it's very easy to become disheartened. It's very easy to, to feel like, it's not worth it. It's very easy to fall into despair, and to have somebody who goes through it and who is willing to share it and say, okay, yep, this is a thing, and still shows up and still says, you know what, but you got this, I'm doing it, you can do it. So, thank you so much, Aaron, for being such an amazing, amazing, example of someone who just keeps showing up. It's it really is that, you know, I'm trying to do, okay, I totally messed that up. JJ, could you shout that out? I'm having trouble getting it spelled and looking at the chat, and I'm old. We multitask very slowly. You're gonna give me cavities. Oh my gosh. Honey, if you get cavities, then they're from how sweet you are. It's an inside job. But, you know, and yeah, you know, when you talk about situations and opportunities that we have to be able to grow as individuals, you know, we don't do that alone. That doesn't happen in a vacuum. You know, I mean, yeah, there's stuff that, you know, we gotta put on, you know, the grown-up undergarments of your choice and say, all right, well, you know, just, you know, nothing we can do. We got to roll up these sleeves. We're going to do this. And to know and have the wisdom to know that you don't have to do it alone. To say, you know what? You know, I think I need to call in the troops. I think I need to get my crew, my backup. You know, the folks who I am always there for, who are just waiting for an opportunity to be there for me. And to let them. Oh my gosh, it's like most people do not realize how much people love it when somebody lets them be there for them. Oh, well, I didn't want to bother anybody. Please, we want to be here for you. You know, you're here for us. We want to be here for you. And, you know, it's just really important. And, you know, if we can be able to, okay, hold on. I'm trying to, I think I got it right. Is she L? I think that's right. I think. Okay, whatever. Anyway, but yes, I distract easily. But the idea that we can, tired after yesterday's PT. Oh, they had me do, new exercises. PT, pain and torture. And absolutely vital to getting back in. And, you know, hey, good for you for going in and doing what you need to do. Because that, you know, it's, I mean, often with my patients, you know, it's like, okay, you need to do your PT. And, you know, have you talked to your PT person? When was the last time you went in? And, you know, it's like, well, it hurts. It's like, of course it hurts. I told you it would hurt. And that is going to help you get better. You've got to go through this part. I mean, and nobody likes doing things that hurt. Well, anyway, we're not going down that rabbit hole, but for the most part, most people do not like doing things that hurt. And at the same time, that can sometimes be the most therapeutic thing you can do, whether it's for your body, your mind, or your spirit. Because sometimes it's going through those hard spots where we have to face things we don't want to face, where we end up coming out stronger on the other side. So keep that in mind. If you're facing something that you would be rather do anything else other than that, then remind yourself, I'm going to be stronger on the other side of this. And if nothing else, I will get it out of the way. This is not bigger than me. This is not stronger than me. So, you know, hang in there, Aaron. Much love. Good for you. And, you know, and just hang in there. And, you know, we're wrapping things up, but I do want to remind everybody that in July 1st, we're doing a while back, I had severe neck pain, went to PT for a month, didn't do a thing for me, rested for a week after, and poof, it went away. Sometimes it goes that way. Everything has light and shadow. So you did what you needed to do. So here is the giveaway. Ta-da! For July 1st, we're doing a giveaway. So it is a keyboard, a mouse, a headset, and a mouse pad, all in one kit. and you get into the drawing for 4,000 channel points, which is why I like giving, you know, like some advance notice for it, because you know, because it's like people want to do it and they need time to save up. So on July 1st, we're going to do a drawing for that. Names will go on the wheel, and there's already lots of names on. But if you'd like to add yours, I need that. So there's lots of time to get the channel points up. And if you don't have quite enough for that, I will be doing another giveaway 3 months after that. So it's just something that I like to do, and everybody gets to be in on the fun. So for June, we've got that. We've also got the Bean Boozle Fiery 5, extremely hot. And what I'm doing is, if I get, for every 100 bit donation, I will eat 1. For every follow, I will eat 2, and for every subscription, every sub, I will eat 3. Oh, JJ the Bunny! JJ the Bunny has redeemed. JJ the Bunny put Sheila's name on it. Sheila, you are in the running for the keyboard. Oh, JJ, thank you so much. And yes, if you want to spend your channel points to put somebody else's name on it, and Sheila, okay. And Sheila is in it herself. So that's 1 plus 1. Alrighty. That is so sweet of you, JJ. Thank you so much. So now Sheila's got 2 shots. And so yeah, you know, being able to have some fun with stuff and let people know. And Aaron the Healer redeemed a giveaway. Three. Alrighty. So, you know, it'll be fun. We did the first giveaway was a monitor. The second giveaway was a gaming keyboard. And this is the third giveaway. So, you know, I mean, I like to find things that, well, one, I find value in. And I figure that other folks might find value in it too. So, but yeah, it's gonna be a fun summer. And you know, in July, I will be doing the, like, Bean Boozle. Maybe I'll get the Harry Potter Bean Boozle beans, or I'll get the ones that are just kind of gross. But, you know, we'll keep the humor going and totally at my expense. So, what we are going to do is let's take a look and see who be streaming. Let's see. And I like to find folks who are a part of my Nameless family, but we do have Survival Steve, who is an absolute sweetheart, who is, you know, he is like such a good friend. So, you know what? We are going to raid Survival Steve, because he is an all-around good egg, and he's got a few people hanging out in there. Let's see. Oh, let's make sure we spell it correctly. I always have to double check. I always have to double check. Alrighty. I think I've got that correct. Yes, I got it correct. So we're going to raid Survival Steve. I don't find those particularly funny, but to each their own. Yep. It is always interesting. Shoot me a message. Got it. So if you can come along with us, then that'll be great. If you have to get on with your day, may you have a wonderful, amazing one. And please remember how awesome you are. Please remember how much of a supporter you are. please remember that you deserve to be supported as well. And most of all, please, please, please remember that you are the only you in all of the universe. The only you that has ever been, and the only you that will ever be. And what that does is it makes you special, makes you sacred, and most of all, it makes you necessary. Because without the only you in the universe wouldn't be the same or complete. So, everyone have a wonderful, wonderful... yep, anybody who wants to, okay, click on Sheila's name if you want to play a game and hang out. I'm going to have to go and take care of some patients, but I'll be back later on this afternoon, so, I'll hit you up then. And Osteria comes in under the wire. Well, not really, because, you could always get more tomorrow. Alrighty. Oh my gosh, Osteria. Are they all for Sheila? Oh my gosh. Okay. Alrighty, well. Oh my goodness. Osteria, that is so sweet of you. Oh, my dear. Oh, you are just so awesome and sweet and so amazing. Thank you. That is so nice. Oh my gosh. You guys are just the best. You guys are just absolutely the best. So, and I also want to give a shout out and huge thank you to all of the wonderful people hanging out in the Loving Lurkers Lounge. You guys are going to make me cry. Oh, see, sweetie, you are loved. You don't have to start anything over. We got you. So, let's go and wish a wonderful good morning to Survival Steve. And what we're going to do is wish everybody a wonderful day. And as always, I wish you balance and I wish you blessings from my heart to yours. And as I used to tell my kids, have a good day, learn something new, I'm proud of you, and I love you. Alrighty. See you tomorrow. Oh, remember tomorrow we start at 10 and not 9, okay? See you then. Bye-bye.